Mike's Daily Podcast. Where are we?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
We're at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mon.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Podcastro Valley 10, I think. That's where we are. It's episode 2748, and it's cold because it's winter, and people seem to have forgotten that it's cold. Did you know?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Sometimes wears a hat, and I have to this time of year. With the bald head, I need
Mike's
something up there.
Daily.
Because it is like you're
Podcast.
a walking thermometer.
Yeah.
When you are bald. You are constantly, you know how when hey, which direction does the wind blow? And you take your finger and you put it in your mouth, which we stopped doing because of COVID, remember? Because you're not supposed to put your fingers in your mouth anymore. Ever since COVID. And we all got trained on that. And now that COVID's gone. Oh, wait, it's not gone? Oh, wait, more people are getting flus and kids are getting flus and COVIDs and everything? Okay. Well, anyway, Café Anyway. The top of your head acts like a wet finger is what it is when you're bald. And you're always, the wind's coming from the northeast, I can tell today. Always, you feel it. And it rained like crazy in Podcastro Valley. And my basement finally leaked. I got somehow through most of the winter. There was no leak in the basement. Now there is. Last year on New Year's Eve, I got so much water in my basement. So we went out and bought a bunch of tarps. And we put the tarps out again this year and have been lucky until last night. And then the rain came and it got really wet. And it's just a little bit of water. I mean, it's not like, up to your ankles or your legs. Then I'd be in trouble because I got all my equipment down there, electrical equipment and recording stuff and podcasting stuff. And I like to podcast.
And here's today's podcast picture.
If you hadn't noticed, because it's a daily podcast and it's episode 2748. And the podcast picture is the wonderful late great Basil the Boxer. I promised you I'd get a picture of him. And there he is on a wonderful walk we took 7 years ago. And his legs were starting to go about then. I could see there was some kind of issue starting to happen. But he hung in there for a couple more years. These boxers are a great dog. If you have a boxer, you need to walk them, though. And you need to let them play. Nothing irritates me more than seeing... Well, actually, there's lots of things that irritate me more. But one of the things that irritates me would be to see someone with a boxer on a chain, on a choke chain, out there walking in the wilderness where the dog really is not going to... Boxers, they'll chase after, like Basil would chase after a deer every now and then, but he would come back. And I'm finding that out about cats, too. You can let a cat go outside, and barring it going, God forbid, out in the middle of the road, but it will come back. So the thing, though, is you need to go to dog training. First off, get some kind of training done with you and your dog so you understand how to tell the dog, hey, sit, hey, come back here. The vocal retrieval command, they gotta be good with that, because that might be what saves your dog someday. But boxers love to run around and smell and sniff out in the great outdoors, and there are people that are paranoid. Oh, my dog's gonna go bite someone. Oh, my dog's gonna... You're in the middle of nowhere. It's the same people like that are out on a mountaintop, and they're still wearing a COVID mask. What is happening? We're too paranoid.
The Myclopedia Insanicca.
As a society, we're way too paranoid.
The Mike Tip.
So that's why I'm bringing up the cold weather. The harsh weather in Oregon played a role in, unfortunately, 3 deaths. A medical examiner in Portland investigating hypothermia death as freezing rain and heavy snow fell in the city that's more accustomed to mild winter rains. Hundreds of people took shelter overnight at warming centers in Oregon over the weekend. The Portland Fire and Rescue also reported the death of a woman in her early 30s Saturday afternoon. That just boggles my mind that we still have that sort of thing happen. An RV caught fire when a small group of people used an open flame stove to keep warm inside. Never a good idea. And then a tree fell on the vehicle, causing the fire to spread. 3 other people escaped, including one with minor injuries, but the woman was trapped inside. This from the Associated Press. Icy winter weather blanketed the U.S. as a wave of Arctic storms threatened to break low temperature records in the heartland, spread cold and snow from coast to coast, and cast a chill over everything from football playoffs to presidential campaigns. As you know, it's all happening now in Iowa.
The Nosebleed section.
Yes, Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend holiday. The weather forecast was a crazy quilt of color-coded advisories, from an ice storm warning in Oregon to a blizzard warning in the northern plains to high wind warnings in New Mexico. Gosh, and it's snowy in Des Moines, Iowa. And that he said as he closed that story out. So speaking of which, in Des Moines, going on in Iowa, there is the major campaigning going on as the Iowa caucuses are happening, and Trump has turned on loyal supporter Vivek Ramaswamy for the first time ahead of the Iowa caucuses. This according to Business Insider. Trump accused him of deceitful campaign tricks, and he said that he is not MAGA. Ramaswamy responded by saying he is not going to criticize Trump. Yikes! That's why it stinks to be a Republican candidate for president these days. He wrote this, I guess, on Truth Social. Trump did, because he owns it. He says Vivek started his campaign as a great supporter, the best president in generations, etc. Unfortunately, now all he does is disguise his support in the form of deceitful campaign tricks. Very sly, but a vote for Vivek is a vote for the other side. Don't get duped by this. At least he came out and said it. Then Ramaswamy, he has repeatedly defended Trump and has criticized other GOP candidates for not supporting the former president enough. What a weird position. Yet he wants to beat him as president, yet he's spending all this money to try and beat him because he wants to run for president. He wants the ticket, be the first on the ticket. It's never going to happen. They're just running. Wow.
Matthews News.
They're running through people's bank accounts is what they're doing.
Mike's absolutely useless review.
He justified running against Trump by claiming that the system will not allow the former president to reach the White House. What?
Mike ripped someone a new one.
Ramaswamy. He is just riddled with all of these crazy conspiracy theories. He just cannot.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
People will just, conspiracy theorists in the Republican Party will just, they hear Ramaswamy talk, they're like, oh, that's great. Oh, wait a minute, he's running against Trump? Well, that's awful. Because we love Trump. Never gonna let that. Nope. Trump's gonna be the candidate.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Ridiculous. All these people saying, "Oh, Nikki Haley, she's got second place." That's not going to happen when Trump is so far ahead. Plus the Trump name recognition. Plus the people that are just completely the Kool-Aid is all inside their blood system, and they bleed MAGA. So.
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week?
Republicans have introduced a bill to prohibit states like us from using federal tax dollars to subsidize illegal immigrant care. The legislation comes as California is expanding its Medicaid program to provide free health care.
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week?
For about 700,000 illegal immigrants in this state, the expansion is projected to cost the state more than $3 billion. Oregon has a similar program on the books.
Mike's scavenger hunt.
That they need it.
News random.
Let's give it to them. But then, wait a minute. Look at our state. We're bankrupt. Can we do it? So, seeing all the craziness happening here in this state, the top Republicans on the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Republican, is introducing a bill to prohibit liberal states from forcing American citizens in other states to subsidize state programs that expand public health care benefits to illegal immigrants. This from Fox News. The legislation, called the Protect Medicaid Act, would prevent federal funds from being used to administer state Medicaid benefits provided to non-citizens by American citizens. If a state opts to extend Medicaid benefits to undocumented residents, the bill mandates that the state bears the full financial responsibility without imposing any costs on taxpayers from other states.
Everybody make some noise! Woo! Bringing to you live from
This nightmare of a show.
Podcaster Valleymont, Mike's Daily Podcast.
Whiny white man wine list.
This is their way of trying to prevent that from happening. While federal law already prohibits illegal immigrants from receiving Medicaid, certain states, such as California, circumvent this restriction by using state funds from their public health care system. We have Medi-Cal to extend Medicaid benefits to individuals without illegal immigration status.
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Theater.
I remember several years ago, I forget which governor it was, I think it was a Democrat governor, saying, let's give illegal immigrants, let's just give them California driver's licenses. Let's give them, we'll just fast track them through the DMV. And that ended up becoming that governor, that led to the recall that then got Arnold Schwarzenegger in office. And I can't think of the names at the top of my head. I had a crazy morning. I wake up this morning and basically, so I have to keep an eye on several radio stations. And one of them was off the air. And it turned out it was it wasn't our fault. It was somebody else higher up in the company that had messed up. So I'm trying to cover that and fix that, and I'm barely awake, and I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I'm causing it to be worse. It's one of those days. I hate getting thrown stuff at me first thing in the morning without coffee, without being awake, and without having... I'm doing this all from home, and you got to have your VPN working correctly. Well, on the weekends, VPN never works. It's like the IT people just disappear. Have you noticed how IT people are getting worse and worse? They're supposed to be there to help you with the technical problems, and they just disappear. Or they all they're concerned about is closing the ticket. Okay, well, looks like I can't do anything, so I'll close the ticket. No! This is still a problem. It needs to be fixed. Well, I can't fix it, so I'll close the ticket. No! That's not how it works! Fix it! That's what you're there for! We need to instantly know who the manager is, who is above them, and start putting heat from above, because these IT people, they get away with so much, because they have so much power. Because we need them. We're at their mercy.
Ridiculous random post.
Outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, Look who's here. Hello, my commercials, Madame Rootabega, and I love it when IT people make me mad. Ooh. Ah. So you love IT problems? Yes. And when you get IT, do you get ANG? When you have IT issues, do you get ANG? Yes. And do you enjoy these questions I ask? No. Okay, I'll done. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we love conspiracy theories because everything on the media that we see on the television is a lie.
Yeah, lies. Do you know that? It all started with somebody by the name of Rush Limbaugh who said something like, drive-by media. And then would poke fun at whatever, some legacy media, your ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, APs.
Mike, it's
CNNs, any other letters you want to have thrown at you. They're all, you can't believe a word they say.
Mikey Fikey, great.
And you say that, and you undercut whatever credibility they have. And then you just say nothing they say makes sense. It's the same thing people did to the FBI. Well, the FBI, all they do is bad. And what about all the times they protected us from terrorism? Oh, they haven't done that. They just are concerned about making sure Trump doesn't make it to the White House. What? I hear these things and my head spins round, right round, like a record baby. Right round, round, round. Which, I don't know if you know this or not, the head is not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to spin around like that. Okay, let's play a couple songs real quick. We're going to do this a little bit out of order or not the way we usually do it. This is the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. We're going to play you some songs that were sent to me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
It's pretty interesting.
And new music is always fascinating to me. And I feel like supporting them. And here we go. Here's an email. It says, hey there, Mike. You shouldn't lose faith that love is right around the corner. Sometimes you have to let go and it will find you. Aw. Love is just around the corner. This is the ethos behind our new song, Patient Love, an ode to the... Now, that wouldn't be the love between a doctor and a patient. It is just being patient. Be patient. You're going to hear this song in a second. Patient Love, an ode to pop, folk, stomp, and holler songs we had fun listening to when we were younger. And this is from a band called The Neighborhood Watch. Let's listen to a little bit of their song called Patient Love. And I'm going to press a button here, and hopefully this will work. And don't you love it when the announcer person tells you that they're pressing a button?
Tear me down, tear me down. Oh, she said I'm holy. Oh, she said
Patient Love. A little bit of that. I can't play too much here. I'll get dinged by YouTube. Okay, that's the first song, The Neighborhood Watch. The second song is by someone named Iskway. Hi, Mike. I'm excited to announce that I have a new record coming out on April 12th entitled Nina. It features my most vulnerable songwriting to date. To that end, I have another taste to share with you today. Waiting for the Laughter was written as I grappled with the messaging directed toward women and our aging. I felt a toll on my spirit when I'd look in the mirror and see a new line or crease and then open my phone to all the filters and apps that seem to wipe away any sign of aging. Ooh! Well put! Yes. May I, Iskway, whatever your name is, Iskway, I as well, since I am 55, the wrinkles are coming fast and swiftly. And I looked in the mirror, I think it was last week, or just the day after New Year's, something like that, and I saw a crazy wrinkle. This has never happened before. A crazy wrinkle that I had never seen before. And it was like a crease in my face. I thought for a second maybe someone cut me. And I'm like, where the heck? What is that, from a pillow? How did that happen? I immediately grabbed for whatever lotion I could find and started putting it in my face. Probably not the smartest thing. You got to have special lotions if you're going to put them on your face. Only certain lotions are made for your face, I should say. But gosh, I'm like, oh no, where is it? What is this from? So my mom had told me years and years ago that she was happy with her wrinkles as long as they were smiling wrinkles, as long as the crow's feet came from smiles. And I adopted that philosophy, and if I got wrinkles on my face, and there's a Brandy Carlisle song about this, but if I have wrinkles on my face, it should show happiness, the happy things, that I've had a happy life, and not all the seriousness and the concern and the craziness that we get all wrapped up in, the conspiracy theories, the anger we feel for crazy things that botch us all up, the frustration we feel over idiotic things, because it's all small stuff in the end. We're not getting out of here alive. So I have since forgotten about that wrinkle. I've looked in the mirror today. I don't think it even registered. I don't care. But Isque goes on to say, I find it dizzying to think of the times I've loathed my body, how I pluck, color, and cover the natural body I was born with. Will I stop? Probably not. Do I try to push myself as far as I can to love the body and being I was born with? Every day. I'm constantly searching for the laughter in it all. Laughter is medicine after all. Waiting for the laughter is to drive the hurt away. Here is the song by Isque. It is called Waiting for the Laughter. Wow, some thought-provoking music there from Isque. And then the last song we have that you can vote on, and I'll give you the number that you can call if you would like to call in and vote on any of the songs that we played today, is Pepe Deluxe. They have a new single called Back from the Future with Goldfinger and K. Okay. Back from the Futures, it's Back from the Futures with Goldfinger and K, is a delightfully unconventional composition, even by the most deluxe, with a little accent over the E. Oh, I should say it's deluxe with an accent over an E at the end. Even by the most deluxe of standards, it's a song of songs, drawing inspiration from mega mixes and the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, offering glimpses into the new Pepe album. However, these aren't glimpses from our future. Instead, they are windows to other potential futures and dimensions. So wait, who is this? They're called Pepe Deluxe. I'm getting a little confused here. Perhaps what I said made sense. But here they are, Pepe Deluxe, and their song Back from the Futures with Goldfinger and K.
Between your fingertips, if there's a heavenly body in the mirror of a lake, it's as easy as cake. Near enough, you can take it. Because eat with us, eat with us. Our feast is about to get it.
Wow. Okay. Maybe you like that. It's a bit crazy. So which one did you like best? Did you like The Neighborhood Watch? Did you like Isque? I-S-K-W-E? Isque? Maybe that's how you say it. Or Pepe Deluxe with a E over an accent at the end. Or an accent over the E. You can call me at this number here.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for all.
And to wrap up the show, Mike's Daily Podcast for today, I'm going to go back in time with you. This is Let's Go Back with Matthews.
Let's go back with Matthews.
Live and loco.
So you heard me just now ask you to call in, and I gave out the phone number And I'll be honest with you, nobody ever calls it. But back in the day, about this is over 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, we're talking about the year 1998 is when I had a show on a country radio station, and we gave out the phone number all the time. People would call in. I'd put people on the radio. Lots of interaction going on. And here's a little bit of that. This was a show called the Café Santa Fe Cafe on a country station. And we had fun, and some interesting people called in. And I had this on cassette, so I guess this is Mike's cassette cubbyhole as well.
Mike's cassette cubbyhole. The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
So here we go with the little bit from back then. Oh, that's a Clint Black song with Winona. I think the two of them, they're both alive still. Yes.
100.7 KHAY, 10 in a row, continuous new country, the Rompin' Stompin' Roadhouse, the Café Santa Fe Cafe, and Winona and Clint Black, a back goodbye. If you saw the last episode of the Larry Sanders Show with Gary Shandling, Clint Black sang that song to Larry Sanders as sort of a goodbye. It's a goodbye song. In fact, he beat out Tom Petty in being able to be the person who got to sing the goodbye song to Larry Sanders. A very funny show that was on HBO if you happen to get that cable channel. You know, have a root beer. You look like you need a root beer. And today is National Hug Day. You just have about 16 minutes left to hug somebody before National Hug Day is over. Remember, hugging helps release tension. So Jim the janitor, you're standing right there. Give me a big hug, you big beluga. Come on, give me a hug. Come on. There, that's good. Ow! You know what time it is? It's time now for the express request. Must be something other than a slow song, something we haven't played already tonight, or a singer we haven't heard from the past hour, and something that's in our format. We'll play it next. The express request, 656 or 650 KHA.
Are you looking for an RV? AIM is fun.
KHAY.
Toby Keith should have been a cowboy.
Okay, who's that going out to?
Just playing it for myself.
All right, it's a great express request. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Simi Valley.
Okay, and our cafe question, finish this sentence. I thought I was going to jail for sure. When?
I guess when I was 17 and got in a very physical fight with my ex-husband in front of a restaurant. Pretty bad.
That would probably do it.
Yep, probably.
Whoa. Yep, that's country radio, folks. It was like the Springer Show every night. Fun times. Ooh, Vince Gill. He's still alive, isn't he?
100.7 KHAY, 10 in a row, continuous new country, and Vince Gill, if you ever have forever in mind. Right before Vince, Toby Keith should have been a cowboy. This is Matt Michaels. And I am putting a roof on a Tuesday, the number one song on the top 888 George Street. I Just Want to Dance With You. Song we had on the preview tonight. The new one from Kevin Sharp. It passed with a unanimous vote. This is the second night in a row. 100.7% of the votes cast. And our cafe question tonight, finish a sentence. I thought I was going to jail for sure. When?
The immigration officer pinned me down and told me not to move.
Okay. It was very fun on those nights. Blair Gardner is next. Give him a call, 1-800-722-NITE, live from Hollywood with K-Hayes after midnight. As we leave the K-Hayes Santa Fe Cafe, walk out to the Matt bus stand. Felix, the bus driver, picking us up and taking us home. Hey, Felix.
Matt, did you have a good time?
Yes, sir. Homework.
That's great. Let's go.
woman's voice on your show, Mike. Don't do that. Gosh, how did that happen? That's terrible. I don't wish her any ill will, but dang. She did not treat me well. Oh, it was right about that time, too, in 98. I was still in my 20s. Wow. But she did become, for a year, she was the voice of Angie's List. Now they're no longer known as Angie's List, but she was a national voiceover. She was the voiceover announcer that you heard for that commercial on radio throughout the country. That was her big claim to fame. Okay, anyway, Café Anyway, that's a little bit of... That busts me up when somebody... I just threw that guy on the air, too. That was a funny question. I thought I was going to jail when... And people answered it. And that I was amazed to hear. And that's because it's a Springer world, everybody. The late, great Jerry Springer. Okay, we're wrapping up the podcast. I wanted to play one little thing before we go.
LA, Thousand Oaks, and the Ventura County area have been reported to be quiet.
That's early 20. That we just heard from late 20s, Mike, and that other thing. And here's early 20s, Mike.
Pete Wilson will arrive in Los Angeles for an aerial tour by helicopter tonight of the area and what's been going on. He'll be here.
Was it Pete Wilson? No, he was a Republican, wasn't he? Yeah, we've had Republican governors before. That was me doing a news report.
Okay, Herb, how about the museum?
Been there.
Miniature golf?
Done that.
The mall?
Been there.
Double feature?
Done that.
The other museum with the weird paintings?
Been there.
That's an annoying commercial from almost 30 years. Actually, over 30 years ago. Okay, we're ending with one last thing for me from 30 years ago.
KKUR, ahead of that Spandau Ballet with True. And we are 105.5 KKUR. KKUR, Ojai, Oxnard, Ventura, Camarillo. The point is, better music with naked eyes. Always something there to remind me.
This station no longer exists, KKUR, as in your station. And they would play the late, great band Naked Eyes. And I think I had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
You are Mike Matthews, saying the roads we walk on lead us in all kinds of different directions and through the most unusual and exciting places. And someday mine will lead me back to you. It's been fun here. I'll see you later. Spinners, KKUR.
What the heck? Wow, what a sign-off, Mike. That was awesome. That was awesome, Super Young Mike. What a great sign-off. I can't top that. I'll just add to it by saying if you would like to chime in, would you like to contribute in some way back to this podcast with any kind of, what do you call it, feedback? Feedback? Well, here's someone named Ariel who will have information on how to do that. Thanks for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!